So some interesting news here for gangster movie fans. Of course, lovers of the crime genre are often starved of love in Hollywood these days. They just don't seem to be making gangster movies anymore, and the ones that do come out often range from mediocre to downright terrible. Films such as Mobtown, Tom Hardy's Capone movie, and John Travolta's Gotti. Speaking of Gotti, news has come about that a sequel is in the works of the original HBO Gotti movie, which came out in 1996, starring Armand Assante as the Teflon Don. This movie is considered something of a modern-day classic. It's a highly respected picture, which has even received praise from real-life former gangster Michael Francese, who considers it highly authentic and one of the most real-life-like gangster pictures ever made. The movie has a stunning cast, which, in addition to Assante, has the legendary actor Anthony Quinn. Many of the other actors in the movie would go on to star in HBO's classic crime series The Sopranos, such as Frank Vincent, Dominic Chianese, Tony Sirico, and Vincent Pastore. In fact, Gotti, which was the highest rated HBO movie at the time, is thought to be one of the reasons why The Sopranos was greenlit in the first place. The movie focuses on the rise and fall of Gotti, and though it has been more than 20 years since the film has been out, a part 2 is in the works, called Gotti 2, The Final Chapter, Facts Undisputed. The movie was announced at the event Gotti the Reunion, which kicked off the Mob Movie Con and Sopranos Con weekend. Armand Assante is set to reprise his iconic role as John Gotti. In a statement, Michael Motor, CEO of Virtual Cons and executive producer of Gotti 2, said, "Gotti 2, the long-awaited sequel to the 1996 multiple Primetime Emmy Award-winning Gotti, will be made and will begin filming immediately. Returning in the title role is Armand Assante, the celebrated actor who took home the Outstanding Lead Actor in a miniseries or a special Emmy for his powerful, moving portrayal of John Gotti. I might add that Armand serves as chairman of the board of Virtual Cons." To be honest, I'm not too sure Gotti 2 was a long-awaited sequel. This seems like a pretty random choice for a film. I don't think of all the movies that are out there, 1996's Gotti was one where people were clamouring for a sequel. From what I gather, it seems to have been a pretty self-contained movie, and if they were going to make a sequel, it should have been done straight away in the 90s. Nick Vallelonga, who co-wrote and produced the Oscar-winning Green Book, will write the script for the film, and the production's key advisor will be the real-life John A. Gotti, i.e. the son of John Gotti. Motor said, "He is an unrivaled living repertory of fact regarding the life and times of his father, a surgeon of sorts who cuts away the malignancies of falsehoods, innuendos and slander to reveal the truth about the man who raised him, the man whose name he carries, the man to whom he is devoted. John's mission is to tell his father's story factually and comprehensively, which is precisely why he has come to us in our shared capacity as storytellers. He understands that with Gotti 2 we will deliver the truth via the powerful vehicle of dramatic fiction. He knows that the Gotti fictions written and told as fact by so-called authorities are best described as bogeyman tales, fables cynically designed to keep an underinformed citizenry scared and willing to excuse the many illegal and immoral excesses of their self-proclaimed honourable protectors. John has granted the producers and creative corps of Gotti 2 unfettered access to his family archives, including hundreds of hours of video and audio tapes and thousands of pages of public, private and even allegedly secret documents. The only promise we make to John, and by extension his family, is one of honesty throughout the storytelling process. He has willingly accepted our assurance that punches will not be pulled, and he acknowledges that corrective surgery is never bloodless, but, when done with skill and honour, almost always effective. So Motor says that the movie will begin filming immediately, though strangely there doesn't seem to have been a director announced. Perhaps it actually isn't greenlit, and the producers are trying to drum up hype and interest for the project so that some studio comes along and finances it. That does happen, of course, though it does seem Vision Studios are the ones making it at the moment. This news is pretty out there to me. I cannot really rationalise why all of a sudden someone would want to make a Gotti sequel about 25 years later. And given the involvement of his son and that it's a sequel, I imagine that his son will be a major character in the film, because Assante is obviously a lot older now, and it's not as if they can have him play a young Gotti. Maybe it showcases Junior's life in crime while his father is in prison. But surely the filmmakers will know that only 3 years ago the makers of the John Travolta Gotti film tried that very same thing, and that movie was utterly terrible. In terms of the quality of the original film, in spite of its reputation, and how it might relate to the sequel, I can't really comment because it might surprise you to learn, given how much I talk about gangster movies on the channel, that I still haven't seen it. I remember sitting down and giving it a go one day, and I got about 15 minutes in before something came up and I had to stop watching it. But even as someone who hasn't watched it, I can't see fans exactly jumping for joy with this news. I imagine a lot of people will be rolling their eyes and uninterested, even if the talents of a great underrated actor like Armand Assante have been acquired to reprise his role of a lifetime. I don't know, I've just got a funny feeling about this movie. I just don't see the motivation for making it, unless his son is trying to get another movie made about his father. Could it be a rights issue? Like someone has to put a film out there, otherwise they'll lose the rights on making a Gotti biopic? I feel like if they ever do get around to actually making it, this unfortunately will be one of those movies that just goes under the radar, that hardly anyone knows about it and even fewer actually see it. Like, did you know, for example, that Raging Bull has a sequel that came out in 2016 and stars Gotti actor William Forsythe, Tom Sizemore, Joe Mantegna, Robert Davi, and Paul Sorvino? It's like, why? Where is the need? Anyway, I just thought you guys might find this news interesting. Are you looking forward to the Gotti sequel? And what do you think of the original movie? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.